Howdy guys and gals, I'm Sonic1009, and this is Let's Play Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Last time we took care of the Tingle Tuner side quest stuff. Today we are going to take on the final last bit of figurine collecting for the Nintendo Gallery. What say you, Link? Are you ready to do that? Link? Link? Now Link, you need to stop being childish. No, I don't wanna! Come on, Link, we gotta do this. I promised the fans we'd do it. No! Come on now, I'll give you a cookie. Yay, okay. Alright, glad that's out of the way. So, last time we messed with anything related to this side quest. It was a good while ago, actually. I'll leave a card on the screen for the first part of it. I believe it was called the Forest Roost Figurines. I did a pretty thorough job as far as when I took a look at it last. I kind of viewed it just to kind of make sure I covered all the bases with that. I pretty much did a pretty thorough job discussing, the mechanics with the Night Day system, the Ballad of Gales, the Song of Passing, how those will all help you out. How to snap how you have to have the photo centered, and if you have smaller objects, you have to zoom in with the camera more, and then you submit it to Karlov, and you make sure, of course, you talk to him just in case he had anything else. Speak of which, let's go and talk to him now. Welcome, Sonas. The figurine you requested is ready. I know I always say this, but this is some of the best work I've done in quite a while. Go in that door there to check it out. I've put it in the room right across from me. You can't miss it. Heart. Okay, I believe he's talking about that's what I figured, the boss room. Okay. That reminds me, I should probably go ahead and go over the figurines I have already collected as of this point, excluding the ones that I've already covered in both the Fallout figurine collection video and the Forest Roost figurine collection video. We've actually picked up a few odds and ends of figurines in between that, as we were doing questing with the main story. So, the figurines we have collected as of this point are Medley. Since I didn't do this during the video because I didn't want to trigger that cutscene, let's go ahead and snap her photo. Jalhala. He's a mask, basically, but that's a combination of all pose. So, before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's go ahead and snap a photo of his crotch and his face. Prince Kamali. But, anyway, I didn't come here just for that, even though that's really kind of like a heartstring tug. I came here to snap his photo, really creepily. Makar, because I need to finish up the figurine gallery for Forest Haven, and the best way to do that is to go ahead and get Makar's. Mighty Wizro. Alright, where's he at? There he is. Alright, now that the room's clear, get him! Now. Nope. Yes, that's good. Okay. I'm good with that. And Moldra. With those figurines collected, we have pretty much cleaned up house as far as the majority of the rooms. Like this room, this is the Forest Haven room, this is the Dragon Roost room, this is the Common Enemy room, which is actually what we will be working on today, as well as the Ganon's Army room. We're going to work on a little bit of this. And I say a little bit because there's really only 5 figurines we're going to be looking at in this one to collect. We finished up pretty much all that we could do in Outset. Same with Windfall. Windfall is actually completed. It's the only room that we have every figurine for, and I'll explain why when we get to the video. Right now we're going to focus on the Common Enemy room, and this is, of course, the Great Sea, which is going to be tomorrow's video, actually, which hopefully, if I'm diligent enough, I'll get this uploaded back to back. So, normally what I like to do is I like to go and basically when I tackle these is I go in and I say, okay, so you go to this point and then this person or this creature should be found there. Snap a photo that looks like this. I'm going to be doing something similar to that, but instead of going all over the place or getting too heavy detailed oriented, there are set locations for certain types of enemies, but the location, the home place, that you see them, it varies. There's a lot of different places we can go to. I'm going to tell you right now, the majority of the enemies we can go ahead and pick up are actually going to be found in the Savage Labyrinth. In case anybody forgot, that is actually the place we went to on Outset Island where we went to go and obtain the 6th Triforce chart, as well as the Piece of Heart. I'll go ahead and link a card on screen if you want to take a look at that. Otherwise, we're probably going to go ahead and get started. As I said before, the majority of the photos we're going to be obtaining today are going to be in the Savage Labyrinth, but before we do that, let's go ahead and focus on the photos of the figurines that we cannot obtain of enemies that are not in the Savage Labyrinth. There are actually a total of 6 enemies we cannot find in there. So, without further ado, let's get started. So right here on Forest Haven, if you take a look in the water over here, whether it's a morning or at night, doesn't matter, you'll actually find a little Octorok. There's a couple of these guys here. You can obtain the photograph of this version of the Octorok, which I would recommend. Or if you want to, you can snap a photo of the Octorok that happens to be roaming in the ocean, the one that shoots bombs at you. Ow. Okay, so if you warp to Tingle Island just using the Ballad Gales, and I think maybe if you travel a few paces... Would you let me finish my explanation? Jeez. If you travel around just briefly, just by cruising around, this Georg will show up. It's almost every time I've had to warp here, this guy has come here and he has messed with me, and what made it even worse is occasionally when I would travel here I wouldn't think about it, and then I would go to leave the room or whatever, and this idiot would keep attacking me basically, and then I'd end up like losing all my fairies. This happened a few times off screen in recordings actually, which, while it may have been funny to keep hold of and record, and I think that is actually probably going to be my best photo. In the southwestmost corner of the ocean, you'll find Horseshoe Island. Here, you'll find a good chunk of the sea hats that you probably need. I would recommend going ahead and snapping a photo from a distance. You guys are going to make me come out there. Oh, great. Oh, just what I wanted. I wanted to go sea hat chasing. All these times I've had you guys chasing after me, and now I'm the one chasing after you for what? A photo? A sick photo of you guys? What am I? Giving this guy some pleasure? Am I giving myself pain? Stepping back onto Diamond Step Island, we'll actually find ourselves the area that we needed to hookshot up to get a hole. So for those who were watching the main Let's Play itself, we'll actually remember we came here to get something called the Ghost Ship Chart. This place actually holds one type of enemy. No, that isn't it that I just killed. Although those enemies are fairly common, so I wouldn't really waste your time on those. Instead, what I would do is I would say go ahead and go into this hole here. And into this hole you're going to find like a room full of warp jars. And in this room full of warp jars, if we go to the first warp jar actually, wait for it to do the little thing, and then spit us back out of that hole, we'll actually find the very obnoxious enemy known as, not Hiccup Burp, but the Floor Master. Now, I'm not 100% certain. I think you can just snap a photo of this enemy while it's in the ground like this. If I'm wrong, like I said before, I will make sure I correct that. Next up, near the Headstone Island, in the south portion of the sea, if you remember when we went submarine plundering, oh my gosh, what are these, all toilets now? No, submarine plundering, this one right here in particular actually was interesting, in that we had to, as soon as we entered here, we actually had to destroy all the enemies, which happened to be rats. These rats happen to be the type that like to throw bombs at us. They're not above stealing from us, I believe, but I think they're more interested in blowing us up, which I believe makes them... I'm trying to find a good spot here, but this is kind of challenging, actually, because, you know, there's, like, bombs everywhere, and this is kind of turning out to be a very... There we go. Okay, there we go. Whew. You have to be kind of a split-second reactor. And finally, near Fire Mountain, if we head here, and you attempt to climb the mountain itself, you should eventually run into those ever so lovely meowing, cat screeching, obnoxious birds known as Cargaroks. Alright. I think that's a good enough photo. Hopefully it is. Unfortunately, before we can head to the Savage Labyrinth, it seems I have to correct a couple of my photographs. One of them is the Floor Master. I had a feeling this wasn't going to fly. I have a good suggestion I would like to recommend. Remember that ice arrow strategy I showed? Oh, no, 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 no! As I was saying, remember the ice arrow strategy I suggested? Let's try doing that. Now that he's out and about frozen, snap a photo while he's out like that, and let's get the hell out of here and correct the other photo that I made a mess of. I swear to the Holy Triforce, I'm going to kick Karloff's ass if this doesn't work this time, because I'm getting sick and tired of having to do this. This is the third time, by the way, guys and gals. As colorful as that creature is, it he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't understand the amount of pain and the assery there is to obtain a photo of this creature. Seriously, I'm getting sick and tired of this. This is a load of garbage. What the heck? Whoa. I didn't push the B button. Link, what? Dude, calm down. We're not trying to kill this thing as much as I want to kill something. We're not trying to kill, ironically, as it may seem, this bird. We are trying to snap a photograph of it. This is Pokemon Snap gone wrong. Like, seriously. No, that's no good. Nope. 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 Okay, yep. We're getting there. Seriously? He just knocked me in the freaking hole. Okay, we're gonna try this again without getting killed or knocked into a hole or knocked off the cliff or trying to magically attack him without actually telling Link to attack. I swear to goodness, man. I swear to the Triforce of Courage or the Courage Triforce piece. You're going to get on this photograph and then... I don't care, I'm saving. I'm gonna snap 3 photographs of this stupid bird because I am just that determined. I'm getting your photograph! You won't be caught on film! If it's the last thing I do, you dirty bird! Okie dokie artichoke. So, we've officially fixed the last photo that needed fixing. And surprisingly, you all are not going to believe this, but surprisingly, the photograph that Karlov was happy with was actually the photograph that had no face. It was maybe a portion of the body itself as he was attacking me. I think it's when he knocked us off the cliff. He didn't want either one of these, although I didn't try it. He wanted the one that I don't have it with me, but it was the one with his feet. Yeah, I don't get Karlov. I really do not. I try to make sure I'm like, oh, well, it's centered, you gotta have their face. And, you know, as a nice guideline. You know, you can use that as a means to kind of help self-judge yourself, like, oh, no, that's a crap photo, I'm not gonna say that. Or, yeah, that's a good photo, I'll say that. But no, apparently I don't know anything. I just... Clearly my eyes don't see what he sees. I don't know what the heck he sees anything. Like, seriously. It's like I was saying on my second attempt, which, well, I won't be showing to get the stupid Kargrock photograph taken care of. I think he has selective seeing. You know how there's, like, selective hearing? I think he has selective seeing. Anyway, we're rambling too much about that. We need to clean out our photograph box first. And then next, we're going to go ahead and get a photograph of Keese on floor 2 of the Savage Labyrinth. As I said before, I will be getting all the photographs, or getting the remaining common enemies on the Savage Labyrinth. So let's go ahead and move on to the next enemy. On floor 3, we're going to find ourselves a group of Moblins. You do not need to snap a photograph of every single type of Moblin, although you do need a good photo, which would be nice, guys. I need a moment. Need my space. Give me a sec here. That might be good. I'm actually going to keep that one. On the 4th floor, we'll actually find a bunch of Moblins with sticks. Once again, these guys have many shades of colors to them, each of them wielding a different type of weapon, usually. Some will have torches that are unlit, like these guys here, these little sticks. Some will have swords, and some will have just their little handy-dandy telescopes. You can just snap a photo of any one of them, and you should be good to go. Oh, this bodes well for future comings, yes indeedy. So we're here on the same floor with the Bokoblins, because I goofed up again. Apparently, I almost got it right, but I didn't get the full body shot. I swear, Karlov needs to make up his mind what he wants, because I'm at a loss, really. I do have an idea what I can do here, though. Let's go ahead and take care of these enemies if we find ourselves getting too problematic with, like, cluster fudge here, or fuster cluck, if you will, of enemies getting in the way. Oh my gosh, he just lit his torch on fire. That's not good. Alright, can you... No, don't get so close to me. Oh. Wait, boomerang. Yes. Alright, there we go. And I just get a good... There we go. That should be a full body shot, right? On floor 5, we'll find ourselves a group of red choo-choo, which are relatively harmless, for the most part, from what I could see. On floor 6, we'll find ourselves a bunch of Magtail here. These guys are kind of fun, actually, especially when they try to kiss each other like that. And they try to pinch my face off. Moving on to the second set of 10 floors, we find ourselves on floor 12 with a bunch of P-hats. So, these guys are going to be kind of a nuisance if we don't neutralize them, and I forgot to get my camera out. Sorry about that. Got so comfy just fighting monsters that we already had photos of, and I was like, I don't need to get that out yet. Now we're in here, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta get that out. Derp. let's go ahead and take the hat off there, as cruel as it sounds. And a couple more floors down, we find ourselves on floor 14 with a bunch of Boku Babas. And moving on a couple more floors down, we find ourselves surrounded by a room full of Mothula. Surprisingly though, I'm not here to really get a photograph of these guys. And I'm gonna see if there's a way I can do this. I'm hoping if maybe I use the boomerang. That's what I want, okay. We want a picture of the Morths. Now if I can just get rid of these guys, so they'll get out of my way. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at all the poop, man. Look at all this poop they pooped on me. Oh, apparently Morths aren't good enough for an enemy. I mean, look at this. Look at this. These guys are legitimately slowing me down. Alright, so if I don't move anywhere, they're not going to go anywhere. So let's go ahead and take time to get a nice solid photo, because these guys are really small and easy to mess up if you're not careful. Ugh, it's creepy. Are they blinking sideways? Oh no, they're just kind of closing all together, like a blinking light bulb. Alright, so that's the Morth. And on the third set of 10 floors of the Savage Labyrinth, on the 23rd floor to be exact, we have these Armos, which are relatively easy to snap a photo of. And on the very next floor, the 24th floor, we'll actually find a couple of Armoses. I keep wanting to say Armoses, when in reality it's really just Armos Knight. Armos Knight instead of Armos Knights, you know, because Armos Knight is plural and singular, which I don't understand how that works, but, you know, that's just how it is with these types of enemies, I think. I better go and get another photo and not die. That would be nice. Alright, that should be good enough. On the 26th floor, we'll find ourselves a bunch of bubbles. Once again, because this is an enemy that comes in two types, you know, you have the red bubble and you have the blue bubble. You can snap a photo of the red bubble or the blue bubble, and you'll get basically a figurine of both of them. They'll be both on the same figurine, essentially. Okie dokie artichoke, so once again, here we are. I am here fixing yet another photo that apparently is not good enough, because why the heck not? I'm trying to get the full body because he was so damn picky about it. Like, oh, that's not quite right. I'm like, that's a load of crap. He was looking right at it. I got a full body shot, man. Alright, that should be right. And moving on to the fourth set of 10 floors, we have ourselves the Dead Room. Lovely. Oh, no, I don't like this! No! Stop it! You're not making me use the Marv scream. I'm not doing that, man. I've done that way too many dang times. You can just screw off with that mess. Alright, so let's see if we can't maybe get it to where this idiot is looking at me. Alright, that should be good enough. And last but certainly not least, on the 35th floor of the Savage Labyrinth, we have ourselves the ever so lovely Pose, also known as the Posers. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not funny. Alright, let's zoom in just a bit. Okay, should be good to go. And with any luck, this is the last figurine we have to collect for these are the last 3 figurines we have to collect for the common enemy room. And then, we can move on to the Ganon's army room. So, I'll meet you guys back at Karlov's Nintendo Gallery. I put it in the 3rd room from the left, my left heart. Yeah, you can give me heartfelt all you want, buddy boy. You just get that cheeky grin on your face like, hee hee hee, I made you have to go back down to that stupid Savage Labyrinth several times. Okay, so let's take a look at the common enemy room, instead of sitting here complaining about how picky Karlov's carving tastes are. I guess I can't complain entirely, because he does a detailed job when he's not being a pain in my butt. I mean, look at this. Look at that beautiful look. And notice how I'm focusing for a moment because I want this to be the thumbnail. Or part of the thumbnail. But seriously, look at this. Look at all these frickin' figurines, man. I mean, he made like the gaseous look for the bubbles. The streaming, black spears of doom coming from the vortex of the floor master. The little embers coming off the fire keys. I mean, geez, this guy spared no expense. And not to mention, we only have to give him one figurine of one type of the same type of enemy that has many like members in the family, and he just somehow automatically knows exactly, oh yeah, that one also comes in that shade, that shade, that shade, and that shade. It's just amazing. I love this pose right here. This is so adorable. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's so cute! So adorable! I love it. The way he just like falling on his face and his eyes are closed. Ugh. I got the Georg here. And these freaking Armos and Armos Knights. And look at this morph, man. My gosh, this thing's huge. It's huge, dude. No, we don't need to look at that nasty thing. So that was the common enemy room. If you followed up to this point and you took all the photos that I had taken or advised taking, congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. Woo! You did it. You just completed another figurine room in the Nintendo Gallery. And if that was your only room you wanted to complete, kudos, you're done. Unfortunately for me, this video is not over yet. I want to go ahead and also tackle the 5 figurines that I would like to tackle in the the Ganon's army room. It should be called the boss room, but I don't know. So that means I'm going to be going back to the Savage Labyrinth and making note of which floors the boss figurines we need to collect are, or the Ganon's army figurines are. So, meet you guys back at the Savage Labyrinth. Okie dokie artichoke. So, ouch, as I get speared in the face. On the 8th floor of the Savage Labyrinth, first set of 10 floors, you'll find 2 Moblins, actually, hanging out. So before we get started on this floor, which is actually the 16th floor, if I read it right, yes, okay. I just want to make a slight correction in case I mistakenly misspoke. The Moblins were actually on the 10th floor of the Savage Labyrinth. I think I may have said 8th and was thinking like, oh yeah, the 8th floor, that's the last floor because there's 8 gym leaders, there's 8 badges from those gym leaders, and therefore it's the final like fight before you have to go to the Elite Four or whatever. I don't know. My mind does weird reasonings as to why I think some things, but Moblins on the 10th floor, and we are presently on the 16th floor. And on this floor, you may remember, I'm like, hey, remember this floor? Or, hey, we're surrounded by a bunch of Mafios, but we're not going to snap their photos. We need the things they shit out of their butt. Alright, come on, I know we can get a good photo. The problem is, this thing is so abrupt. That actually would be a good photo if he would accept it, but I'm pretty sure he won't. Alright, there we go. That's what I was trying to do, is get a good photo of him standing there looking at me like a dumb butt. Like, huh? What? You gonna move? Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? And at long last, we are here on floor 22, the first floor with 3 Wizrobes, if I remember right. Yes, okay, there are 3 Wizrobes. It'd really suck if I killed them all. Okay, let's go ahead and stun him so he doesn't shoot fire at us, and then we can go ahead and grab ourselves a good photo. Or not, that's fine. Where are you at? Oh, you're right behind me, great. Yeah, not gonna happen. Okay, there. Why do you keep doing that? You're popping up right in front of me. Well, thankfully, I think that's a good enough photo. And on floor 27, as you see me beat the stuffing out of a Moblin, and then a second Moblin, we find ourselves face to face with our first Dark Knight. Well, not the first, but our first Dark Knight within the Savage Labyrinth. And at long last, on floor 40 of the Savage Labyrinth, besides these Jinx bubbles, of course, you will find yourselves face to face with the final figurine that we have not yet obtained. Hold your horses for a second there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Don't touch that play button, don't exit yet. So, sorry about this, I am adding this on the end of the previous video. Apparently I missed a Dark Nut, or a second version of the Dark Nut. I didn't realize this until after I had done it and I went and checked like, okay, calculate how many figurines I have left. Wait a minute, I'm missing a figurine. What's going on? Yeah, I'm missing a second Dark Nut. I don't know how exactly the game developers thought that we would be able to distinguish this, because there really is no difference. But apparently there is a Dark Nut with a buckler. Yeah! And it's not even really called that, it's just called Dark Nut. If you look up the titles, or as soon as we get the figurine, I'll show you the evidence that it says Dark Nut, and then it'll say Dark Nut for this one as well. But apparently there is a difference between the two. Anyway, we're here in the Earth Temple because this is like the first appearance I can think of that you would run into one. I guess there are other places you can possibly find these. Maybe there's some in the Savage Labyrinth, but you can kiss my bottom dollar if you think I'm going to go back down that mess again. No thank you. I'm thinking maybe in one of the rooms with multiple Dark Nuts, there's probably going to be a Dark Nut with a buckler. I don't understand exactly how you're supposed to know this, but anyway, just know that at least if you go to the Earth Temple, use your warp jars to go to warp jar number 3, and you're in this room here to fight the Dark Knight with the big key. I gotta speak today. This guy here will actually give you that figurine for Ganon's army. So let's go ahead and snap a good photo as he's approaching us ready to kill. And I'm going to meet you guys back at Karlov's. Okie dokie artichoke. So I know I already showed off this room, but I just wanted to prove to you that, okay, so we got this Dark Nut here, right? Dark Nut! And of course it tells us habitat, what spoils it drops, and it gives us a little detail about it. And its weak point and whatnot, you know, with the armor being the weakness behind the back, and of course if you knock off his helmet. And we still have the photograph that I showed you guys from the Earth Temple, with the Dark Knight with the buckler, apparently. So let's go ahead and submit this photo to Karlov and see what he says here. I don't believe this really, but let's see what happens. Yes, this is quite an inspiring motif. I feel like you've said this about the other one that looks almost exactly the same, but okay. Hurrah! Filled with even more inspiration. Please permit me to sculpt this. It will be a jewel of a figurine. Alright, as usual, let's meet each other back after we play the Song of Passing for 2 days. Or 2 times, rather, excuse me. I've put it in the room right across from me. You can't miss it. Heart. Alright, let's go ahead and check this bad boy out. Just so I can see to make sure I'm not totally crazy for thinking, what the fudge were they thinking? Like, seriously, this is like... I mean, they have every other figurine that has, like, multiple versions of it, yet they include it on the same, you know, figurine, like the Wizarobes and whatnot. And the Mothulas, you know, the winged Mothula versus the Mothula with no wings. Yeah, right here, sure enough, look at this. And now, like, I've looked at this from top to bottom, head to toe, I've zoomed in and out. I mean, I can clearly see he has a shield, which, I mean, the other guy did is, or the other guy doesn't over there, but most of the Dark Knights do have shields. Dark Nut! Habitat Earth Temple, apparently. Oh my gosh. I don't know how they're expecting anybody to know this. Yeah, he's essentially the same idea, except, I mean, they worded it a little differently, but... Yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and tack this on at the end. I apologize for the unprofessionalism. But I truly was like... Maybe it's because I was very burnt out, but even now I'm just like, I'm looking at both these figurines, and I don't see the difference, but... Yes, make sure you don't miss this figurine. Just go to the Earth Temple, like you're going to get the big key, use the 3 warp jar, or go to warp jar number 3, you know, as the fastest way to get there. And then go ahead and snap that Dark Nut in particular's photograph. I don't understand what they were thinking when they did that. Like, I mean, even looking at the armor is the exact same design too, so... Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. With this, officially, this is everything we can get in the Ganon's armor room, which I also prefer to call it the boss room, you know, because there's a lot of mid-bosses and bosses here. The rest of the figurines we cannot get until we begin the last portion of the game, essentially, so... Once again, as before, thank you so much for watching. Love you bunches. Please launch Tail Slap, and I will see you all next time for more of this figurine collecting stuff. And then once we've done all that, for a couple more videos, we will officially begin completing the game. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. Peace out.